Most traders use the relative strength index just to spot basic overbought or oversold conditions on a separate subchart window. But what if you could decode that hidden momentum and project it directly as powerful, auto-updating support and resistance boundaries right onto your main price action grid? Today, we are opening the engine bay of a highly rated community tool, the RSI Core Levels Heatmap by BigBeluga. We will strip away the visual interfaces, reverse engineer its internal code structure, and analyze how it maps trend shifts on Bitcoin. Stick around for our final segment, where the Chart Science Scorecard exposes a specific structural limitation in this code that can leave your layout completely blind during fast breakout runs. Let's decode the math. Traditional technical oscillators suffer from a fundamental flaw. They live in a structural vacuum. A default RSI line tells you that market speed is historically overextended at the 70 or 30 line, but it cannot translate that raw math into an exact price coordinate on your chart. Traders end up guessing entries or cluttering their layout drawing arbitrary lines. The RSI Core Levels Heatmap attempts to resolve this disconnect. Instead of forcing you to hunt for signals across separate windows, it acts as a tool tracking engine, capturing momentum shifts the exact bar they occur and locking them as tradable price floors and ceilings right where your limit orders sit. Let's dissect the open-source PineScript version 6 code to examine the internal engineering. The script tracks momentum shifts by applying a smoothed 14-period simple moving average signal line directly over the raw RSI data array. The core block triggers during a crossover below the neutral 50 center line or a crossunder above 50. When a bullish crossover condition returns true, the code executes a historical look-back loop, scanning backward up to 10 bars to isolate a bearish candle. It clips the open and low prices of that bar to render a horizontal support boundary. But what prevents this script from cluttering your layout with duplicate levels? The answer lies in this custom function. Is underscore overlapping underscore existing underscore block. Every time a crossover occurs, the system runs an array matrix scan, checking if the new high or low coordinates reside inside an already active price block. If a duplicate zone is detected, the execution logic completely blocks the new line, preserving an exceptionally clean interface. Now let's analyze how this indicator architecture behaves on our unified baseline. Bitcoin on the 4-hour and 1-hour frameworks. As long as a price zone remains unbreached, the script extends the line cleanly into the live space. However, observe this structural breakdown right here. The exact bar a candle close violates an active block. The script executes its array lifecycle management rule. The level instantly transforms into a thin, desaturated gray dashed line. Its text label is deleted, and it is removed from the active array tracking memory to prevent chart lag. Concurrently, look at this real-time HUD dashboard table. It uses live telemetry to calculate your exact distance to the nearest remaining active boundaries in precise points and percentages, providing a constant reading of the valid trading channel. Let's focus on the top, middle, and bottom tracks of the subpane. These are 3 dynamic ribbon conveyors built from microsquares. When RSI crosses above 70, bright gradient red blocks light up. The denser the blocks, the more fanatical the bullish momentum, marking an overbought exhaustion zone. When RSI drops below 30, the bottom ignites with glowing green blocks. This reveals that sellers are hitting a brick wall, throwing the market into a deeply oversold value pocket. When RSI narrows between 40 and 60, it triggers a midline squeeze. Bright yellow blocks light up, meaning the market is tightly compressing spring-loaded energy, preparing for an explosive breakout or breakdown. The first way to use the RSI Core Levels Heatmap is to observe potential reversal areas. When a new green support zone appears on the chart, it does not mean that price will automatically bounce. Instead, Think of it as an area where market attention may increase. The first step is to wait for price to approach this zone. As price moves closer to the support level, we can start observing the reaction between buyers and sellers. A stronger setup appears when the price reaches the support area, while RSI momentum shows signs of weakness and selling pressure. For example, if Bitcoin creates a lower low near the green support zone, but RSI creates a higher low, this creates a bullish divergence. This suggests that although price is still moving lower, bearish momentum may be losing strength. The indicator helps us identify the location. The divergence helps us understand momentum. The final confirmation comes from price action. Instead of entering immediately when a zone appears, we wait for the market to show a reaction around this important level. The second way to use this indicator is to identify momentum expansion after a period of market compression. When the heat map ribbon remains in a yellow condition, it often represents a period where price movement becomes smaller and the market enters a consolidation phase. During this stage, the important information is not the direction, but the preparation for a possible expansion. Traders can monitor the distance between the current price and the nearby support and resistance levels. When price breaks away from this compressed area and momentum starts increasing, the indicator can help visualize where important levels are located. However, a breakout should not be judged by one signal alone. Market structure, volume, and price behavior should always be considered together. The main purpose of this indicator is not to predict every market movement. Its purpose is to organize hidden momentum information and transform it into clear visual levels on the price chart. Now it's time for the chart science evaluation. Instead of asking whether this indicator is good or bad, we analyze what problem it solves, where it performs well, and where its limitations appear. First, visual design. The RSI Core Levels Heatmap has a very clear advantage. It transforms hidden momentum information into visible price zones directly on the chart. Second, logic innovation. The idea of converting RSI momentum changes into dynamic support and resistance levels is more creative than a traditional RSI oscillator. Third, practical application. This indicator is useful for identifying important areas, but it should not be treated as an independent trading system. So, who is this indicator suitable for? This tool may be useful for traders who already understand basic market structure and want a cleaner way to visualize momentum levels. It may be less suitable for beginners who are looking for automatic buy and sell signals. If you enjoy this type of indicator research, consider subscribing and turning on notifications to follow future analysis. Have a TradingView indicator you want us to investigate? Leave a comment below, and it may become the next Chart Science episode. This is Chart Science. We decode trading tools beyond the signals.